I think a lot of people have psychic ability. I think they have spiritual gifts. They simply don't know how to use them. They don't understand these gifts. And the problem with psychic ability is it's not clear cut. It's very black and white. So sometimes it's hard to understand that you have a psychic ability because it doesn't appear as how you would think that a person who is psychic would appear. I want to talk about my own experience. You see, I've always felt like I was empathic. I could see people in a room, see people on TV that I didn't know. And instantly I would know if they were a bad person or not. I would know if they've done something bad. I would get a bad feeling about them and I would know exactly who they were. And, sometimes I'd walk into a room and I'd be so overwhelmed by feelings. I could feel the negative. I could feel people sad, depressed, that it would overwhelm me and I'd have to leave that room. And I've always been that way ever since I was a kid. So I've always believed that I've had some sort of empathic ability. But the other psychic ability that I believe that I have is clairvoyance. I think that I don't physically see spirits appear to me, but I can walk into a room and I know if a spirit's there and I can sort of sense them. I can feel them. I know their age. I know, their sex. I know a little bit about what they want. But other than that, I can't paint for you all the pictures. And I've always had this gift where I could just sense when someone died in a place. And I can sense when there's a spirit present. For example, I was at the Lemp Mansion. We were on the 3rd floor. And there was a young boy named Zeke that had died in the attic. And as I'm walking to the 3rd floor stairs to go down to the 2nd floor, I could feel the presence of a young boy asking me to stay and come play with him and come hang out with him. And he didn't want me to leave. And these are sort of the impulses that I get as a clairvoyant. And I even believe to some extent that I have the ability of telepathy, that I can think something and other people are able to pick up what I'm thinking and then they will say it to me, exactly what I'm thinking. I don't know who is picking that up. I can't directly send that to someone, but they can pick up what I'm thinking and they can tell me exactly what's on my mind, what I'm thinking. And these are just some of the spiritual gifts, the psychic ability that I believe that I have. And I think when it comes down to it, when you think about humans, we are like sort of radios and towers. Some of us transmit information. And some of us are like radios. All of us actually, I think, transmit information. But some of us are like radios. And we can pick up that signal. And we can transmit it into our minds and decipher it. And I think when, for instance, when I was talking about telepathy, that I can present something in my mind, it becomes into sort of this spiritual realm, physical realm, and others act as catalyst and can pick this signal up and can interpret that and understand that. And I don't even think they realize that they're doing that, but I think a lot of people act as sort of conduits, as radios, and they can pick these signals up that other people give. And I think that's the same thing with my empathic ability and my clairvoyance, is that these spirits, these people give off a radio signal and I'm able to pick that up. And in the same way, I'm able to transmit signals and others are able to pick that up. And so I've often seen that is that I think, even with the remote viewing, I've done experiments where, I'll draw something, I ask people to look into my mind and see if they can figure out what I drew. And some of them actually can pick up the signal that I'm transmitting. They actually have the ability to do so. And I don't think a lot of them realize that they're doing it, but they can do it. And this is essentially how psychic ability works, how these spiritual gifts works, is I think that we're having parts of our brain wake up. We're using parts of our brain that we haven't before, and that we're able to transmit information consciously to other people as sort of a tower would to a radio. And we know that the brain works in the same way, that it sends signals, it sends messages to our organs, our body parts to move, to work, to do the things that we need to do to function. So we are essentially walking towers. And some people are like radios that can pick up that information.